The Forward Party came out and they announced that they were going to be forming a party. Very interesting, I think. I love the idea, but it's my idea. Now, this is what I have been talking about for the past 2 months. So the Forward Party came out today with their announcement, and they're going to be going from state to state, trying to get people to run for mayor, run for a state local offices, and run for what? They want a candidate to put in office. Right? What have I been saying? We all need to get together, vote out the Democrats, vote out the Republicans, vote out the independents, so that we what? Give them the finger. Get rid of them. I've been saying that for what? 2-3 months now, whatever my video is. Give them the finger. It's starting to pick up. Okay, so they heard me saying it, and then all of a sudden, July 28th, here comes Andrew Young, Christy Whitman, and somebody called, I forget his name, Jerry, whatever his name is, a former representative out with them Forward Party. Now, I like the idea. I do. But this is what I was saying. We need to vote those people out. Instead of fighting and causing an insurrection and, doing all the things that you're doing, we need to collectively, as Americans, vote them out of office. Now, they're talking about locally, doing this, coming together, Republicans, independents, Democrats, and voting them out. Yes, we need to do that, but we have to have a one-time reparations for Black people on a tiered level, and I'm getting the statistics together. Oh my goodness, this light is hot without the fan. And let me put my AC on real fast. I'm working on getting the numbers together so that I can get the numbers to have. That's why I haven't talked about the reparations on the tiered level. Those reparations need to be paid out. And college forgiveness, and then for all other Americans and immigrants that have paid into the system taxes for 10 years, college forgiveness for all other Americans of all other races, and then for us to be paid $1,700 a week, all Americans. You do a line item budget, and you allocate the money. And this is to get rid of poverty for the poor, the poverty-stricken, the poor and working, the middle class, and immigrants that have paid into our system for 10 years. Now, paying us that money, of course, we're going to help the economy. It'll help the business class. The mom and pops. We're going to be shopping. We're going to be buying. It'll help the business, the banking industry, because we'll be able to save money. We'll be able to afford houses. The main thing that knocks us down, and it'll help inflation go down. The main thing that knocks people down from becoming homeowners is because we are unable to show how we're going to be able to afford our payments. So having that money, having that for the people fund money is a source of income. And we don't have to worry about having a job, right? Because we have for the people fund money. Nobody's going to take it away from us, right? So this is why I say we have to put in people that are going to give us that, vote us to have that for the fund money. Now, if there is a fool in America that does not want to vote for someone that'll give Black people that one-time payment of reparations that we should have had because we have earned it. Not every Black person in America is going to like my idea about reparations, because if you were born in 1990 or later, You're not getting payment for reparations. You don't need it. You don't deserve it. You haven't earned it. And 9 times out of 10, you haven't suffered the type of just racial discrimination where you deserve it. Free college, fine. If you don't want to go to college, that's fine. But college should be free. At least state college should be free anyway, for people. But again, my plan is for free college, free state college, for every American anyway, with the For the People Fund. So state college. If you want to go to a private college, you know, maybe some grants to help you out. But at any rate, with you getting that amount of money every week, plus you working, there's no reason why you can't afford college at that point. But this is for people that are 18 years of age and older. And it'll definitely help the economy. So we're going to take our people in office that are going to allocate those monies for us. And people, please understand me when I say our taxes can pay for this, because they just passed the CHIPS Act. Nobody batted an eye. And they collect taxes from us every single solitary day. And they've allocated that money for the CHIPS Act to be paid out to millionaires. These companies make millionaires, and they know what, you know what they told the companies, the billionaire companies told them? You better pass that money, and you better pass it before August, or we're going to take our business to another country. And you know what the Democrats and the Independents and Republicans all did with Joe Manchin? Said, we better do it. And you know what? Just like that, they did it, and they passed it, and they sat around shaking hands and patting each other on the back. Well, they just screwed the veterans. So now Jon Stewart's out there cursing and screaming and fuck this and fuck that all on the news. I'm sorry, I cursed. Because they just took their the Republicans just took away their medical coverage. But the Republicans are the first ones to send them to war. And guess who is heavily veteran? You vote for these Republicans. You keep them in office. Then you go to war. You get sick. You come home. Your limbs are messed up. Your heart is messed up. Your mind is messed up. And they cut your medical. They cut the budget for your medical. And then they pass something called the CHIPS Act. And y'all should have seen Nancy Pelosi biting her tongue. Of course not. Of course not. I don't know anything about sharing any information, because her husband just bought $5,000 worth of stock from the company for the CHIPS Act. $5,000 worth of stock in the company that is literally going to be purchasing the company that's going to purchase the stock for the chips. $5,000 worth, which is going to turn into million, because he's not going to sell each one for $5,000. Obviously not. Obviously not. That's millions and millions of dollars. He's not going to sell each one for $5,000. He bought it for $5,000. But one stock, he's going to sell for $1 million each stock. He ain't going to sell it for that. So, like I said, I don't begrudge them making their money, but don't begrudge the Americans For the People Fund. Don't begrudge reparations to Black people that should have had it eons ago. So that is why we need to put people in the House of Representatives and put people in the Senate that will pass both of these things. Now here's Andrew and Jerry. I think his name is Jerry, and Christy Whitman. I just talked about Christy Whitman in my video called Edna Mahan EMCF for transgenders, for women, transgender women and men, corrections. The one that's got the corrections. Because she's another one. She knew that the people, the women were being raped and beat, and she looked the other way. But at any rate, I just talked about her in that video. But yeah, now they want to get together and they want to do. I think it's a good idea. Something called Forward. Because people who want guns, they should be trained. People should have guns in their home. I am against guns. I don't like guns, but I have to have a gun. I have to have a gun in my home. I have a weapon in every room in my home in case somebody breaks in. I have to have a gun now. I have, I'm in the process of getting a gun. I don't want a gun, but now I have to go to a range. I have to learn how to shoot so I don't hurt myself or somebody else. I have to go through the process of I guess being fingerprinted for it. The bullets have to have a certain code on them because that's the new law that the governor made. And I have plans for the future, so I now have to have a gun. So I'm in the process of getting a gun, and I don't want a gun, but it doesn't make sense for me to do what I'm doing and not have a gun. That's the world we live in now. But I made a video before that, I don't want a gun. I'm not going to get a gun. Now I have to get a gun. That's the world we live in. And so for what I'm going to be doing, it doesn't make sense for me not to have a gun. But I got to be responsible. I have to register the gun. I have to, I have to take a class. So that's one of the things that have to happen. I'm not going to just get a gun and have it in here illegal. That's against the law. So, but you need a background check. You need this, you need that. And as you know, I've been incarcerated, so I have to get that worked out first. And probably have a court challenge because, but that's what I have to go through to legally have a gun. But I have to have one. So anyway, but all right, I'm not gonna make this long. All right, but I gotta go. But it's just this y'all came out after me. Forward came out afterward. But people, this is what I'm saying. Let's do it. Let's do it because this is our money. And yes, this is our money. There's enough money there to do it. The CHIPS Act is allocating $200 million. For us, it's not going to cost $200 million. Nowhere near. Because giving us that money every week, we're putting the money back into the system. And so the money that we're spending back into the system is going to generate taxes. It's going to boost our economy. So that CHIPS Act is just spending money. We're giving ourselves our tax money, but we're going to be spending money back into the system. So it's not going to cost anywhere near $200 million. Okay? Over 10 years, that CHIPS Act is going to cost $1 trillion. So I know people hear me saying, how can every American get $17.76 a week? It's going to cost too much. No, it's not. It's going to pay for itself. But I'll give you the details. Have a good night.